Hey everyone, this is Gary Kay. I am here with Dave Reasoner, who is with TierPM. Now you may know TierPM as that AV staffing company, recruiting company, but you do a lot more than that. Tell us who TierPM is.
Sure, I'd be happy to, Gary. TierPM has been known for many years as the audiovisual industry staffing resource, but we also have a robust solutions division built to serve the AV industry that includes data analytics, visualizations, application development, and IT project-based consulting for clients nationwide.
Well, you have a new product called AVInsite, a new offering called AVInsite, which is going to be something that our viewers are going to be very interested in because obviously they're managing lots of projects, lots of things going on with the systems that they do. Talk about what AVInsite is.
We're very excited to share AVInsite, an innovative solution for managing collaboration technology that drives core businesses and KPI decisions that lead to a more effective way to run business. AVInsite utilizes data from data sources or network devices, enabling improved insights that allow businesses to make more informed decisions quicker and be more competitive in the marketplace, as well as other advantages such as cost savings, inventory control, ticket visibility, and much more.
Yeah, so I want you to show what it looks like. So if you could do a screen share real quick. I know it's customizable from what I've read about it.
Yes.
But you have some basic design templates, and there's a way that it works from a dashboard standpoint. And I think it'd be good. Go ahead and share your screen, and let's take a look at what that looks like real quick.
I'd love to.
And you have a cable in front of your monitor that just popped in front of your camera there. So make sure you move that out of the way when we stop sharing. You see that little cable in front of there? There you go. All right, so so go right ahead and explain how this works.
So a couple of things to note before I go to the demo. Our demo shows the many options and views available, but the actual dashboard for any particular customer will be customized based on specific requirements for that project and the data sources available. Many companies today are collecting data from networked and software-based collaboration systems and applications, but they're having a challenge using the data. So AVInsite brings data sources together so teams can see, for example, conference room utilization is very important, technology utilization, problem issues, trends, upgrades needed, and much more. AVInsite helps teams make informed decisions about their conference room technology, and it helps teams have a more holistic view of their conference room and technology to improve day-to-day support. So let me point out a couple things on the main tab here, Gary. And
by the way, that wire is still in front of your camera. We'd like to be able to see you too at the same time. But hey, not a big deal. But
how's that?
Yeah, it looks good. Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, thank you for doing that. So
what happens when you're live. Like when you do this live, that's what happens. So keep going.
So this main tab here brings together a lot of the other tabs as far as this is your main dashboard, and it gives you that snapshot of how your organization is doing and the metrics you're tracking. We also provide some filtering on each of the pages, so you'll see a standard format that we go on.
So in this case, let me interrupt you. So in this case, would an AV integrator be managing the systems that they have installed at multiple locations, or would one dashboard basically focus on each, would there be a separate dashboard for each company that you're managing at the time you're managing?
It could be both, depending on how the customer has their data set up. For example, I'll show you with the city. For our demonstration, we use 2 cities. It could be one, it could be many cities. It could be multiple dashboards, could be separate for each city, or it could all be rolled into one. And it really depends on how the customer, what their requirements are and how they want to roll this up. And we can help with that decision-making with some consulting on that.
Okay.
So we could pick a particular city. For this main dashboard, we actually capture some active alerts, and we do try to provide some detail on each one of the tabs so you can drill down and actually look at some of the data. Now I'm going to move to the error log. So the error log's intention is to show if a customer has a ticketing system, such as a ServiceNow, which is very popular out there, As long as we can get to the data, we can actually add this into the dashboard and start making those relationships.
Is this
So
real-time tracking here, or is it delayed based on how it's polling the device?
most of the time, this is going to be real time or near time, I would say. And we can set that up and help the customer based on how they want to actually see this.
And you can set up
So
proactive alerts if there's some sort of emergency type situation. Yeah.
you can actually set up some alerts in this particular dashboard to
Mhm.
do an email or flag you on the visual if you'd like to see that. So that's
Okay.
customizable as well for this. So we do have some things like average time to resolve by device, top help requests by room, and some detail below as well.
So
And
if you're supporting it, this is going to give you some amazing data to share with your customer and the facilities manager to make some decisions on buying stuff in the future, I guess.
absolutely. And do keep in mind, this is based on what we did. This is customizable to the data that the customer wants to see and the
Yeah.
visuals itself. Yep. So I'm
Nice.
going to move to the assets tab. So anytime you have an asset, that the asset is going to be in the room tracking something, whether it's a control panel, DSP, it could be an air conditioner, something like that. We want to take a look at that, and we want to be able to get to that data and give you some analytics on that. An important one we actually look at for this is actually asset aging by device. So how long have you had the warranty on that device? When is that warranty up? When do I need to look at replacing that device, or is that warranty getting older?
Mm-hmm.
And we can actually look at the availability of the assets. How long has it been utilized? What's the idle time on it? How long has it been offline if there's been an issue? So if I have continued to have a problem with a control panel, for example, in a certain room, I can narrow that down very quickly and say, okay, do I need to replace that? Let's look at the warranty and make decisions that are going to help foster my business and my decision making. And you have detail again on the bottom here. Let's take a look at room data tab. Now, this is all about room data. We like to look at, this is from a scheduling system, by the way, Gary.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so you might look at Office 365 Outlook.
Yeah.
So we have to get access to that. So this is mostly purely in schedule, although if we are pulling other data sources in, we do try to match those together to get those relationships, to bring out those trends that maybe you can't see just by looking at the data. So we look at things like meetings booked, meetings that are scheduled, ad hoc meetings, meaning maybe it's not scheduled, but the room sensors detected somebody was in the room. So why is that happening if that's a problem? We can look at actual top rooms % occupied. So whatever's data is there, we try to mix with the other data sources to bring out those trends that will help you make those decisions. And then the last tab I'll cover is user.
Wow.
So user, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said, wow, that's a lot of data you get on the user there.
Yeah, and I was going to say that users is a mix again of not just user, but we're looking at department.
Yeah.
We're looking at technology used by department. So marketing used the control panel how many times or what percentage, because we might want to try to determine what departments aren't using technology, whatever that decision or KPI might be. So this is actually a good mix of some of the data too as well. It probably will actually bring in some things from ServiceNow. We can look at average number of participants to see if our boardrooms and huddle rooms are being used to capacity, what's the occupancy, and things like that can help our decision-making process.
I think a lot of people would like to have already had this deployed as they're going to go back to work. They'd like to have this data to determine how many new rooms they need to build or how these rooms are being used so they can figure out if social distancing will work. I have a question. A lot of people in our industry use Crestron Fusion. Is the dashboard compatible with Crestron Fusion?
Yes, and actually to note, Crestron Fusion has its own ready template that ships with Fusion, and we can help you set that up because a developer is required. And we can even customize that view for AVInsite. So it is compatible with Crestron Fusion. That is correct.
And can AVInsite pull data from software-based collaboration applications like Zoom and Teams?
That's a good point, because up to this point, we've been looking at the hardware, but we can actually, if we have access to the data, whether it be in a database like a SQL or an API, which is probably be for Zoom or for Outlook whatever, we can actually pull that data into the dashboard, and we do have experience doing that.
So if it's not in a database, but on Excel or Access, it obviously can still be used.
That's correct. Ideally, the data can be moved to a database and maintained there for the project, which we can help with. But we can also customize a solution that you can use an Excel file, for example, to be pulled into here.
Yeah, this is really powerful. So AVInsite, I know, is brand new. It's on your website at TierPM, TierPM.com/AVInsite, like
That's
site,
correct.
AVInsite. I know it's new, but when is it available?
If you make that contact right now, it's available at present right now.
Okay,
So
excellent. So go to TierPM.com/AVInsite. Dave Reesner, I really appreciate you doing this. This is a great demo. We've been focused on new products today, products that can help integrators make more money, support their clients better, especially in this new age post-COVID. This is a great example of something that can definitely do that. Check it out at TierPM.com/AVInsite. Dave, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary. I appreciate it.
And keep watching. We got lots of other new products here. A lot of these demos are live. We're going to have little problems like this every once in a while, but keep watching because we got lots more to show you.